When you think of making a ceramic piece, what do you think of? Many of us automatically think of an artist sitting at a wheel throwing a pot. However, the pieces in this exhibit represent several different methods of creation. Let's start with wheel throwing. This is when someone starts with a piece of clay and uses a spinning wheel to create their form. This is best for throwing rounded shapes like bowls, mugs, plates, and cylindrical forms. Next, there is a process called casting. This is when clay is thinned out to a pourable consistency called slip and is poured into usually a plaster mold. This allows artists to make specific shapes, and it can also be helpful when you're working with exact specifications or attempting to create identical or at least close to identical pieces. Two great examples of slip casting are Rain by Baudelaire and the pieces produced for the mass market in the early 20th century by Royal Copenhagen and Bing & Grundahl. In the case of Baudelaire, she used the molds and the casting method to allow her to create those unique cylindrical shapes and also to get her walls so delicate and thin. The thickness of the wall is determined by how long you let the clay sit in the plaster mold. A shorter time means less water is absorbed by the plaster, which results in thinner walls. By combining different molds, Mans can also create new and unique shapes for her pieces. The Kunst pieces created by Royal Copenhagen and the similar line by Bing & Grundahl use slip casting as a way to speed up production, as it made the process more efficient, which allowed them to produce more pieces that could be sold at a lower cost. Finally, there is perhaps the most accessible form of making ceramics, which is hand building. This is almost exactly what it sounds like, a way to create pieces by hand. This can take a variety of different forms, so I want to point to two pieces in the show in particular to show how different hand building construction can look. If you look at Jørgen Haugen Sorensen's Viderne, the figures are hand-built, and you can even see the way that he shaped the clay with his palms. Bente Hansen's Roca is also hand-built, but using a technique called slab building. This is when you create slabs of clay, either by rolling it out or putting it through a machine not dissimilar from a pasta machine. And then you cut the slabs into the shapes that you want and attach them together. This creates a really smooth surface and allows you to make sharper corners and joints than you would be able to do with, say, wheel throwing. Sometimes these methods could even be combined on a single piece. Take Sandra de Avolio's vase, for example. It was first thrown, and then the delicate ethereal frills on the exterior of the piece were applied by hand, where she added strips of wet porcelain and then manipulated them with her thumbs to form the creases and ruffles. As you explore the pieces featured in the exhibit, look closely at them to see if you can spot any hints of how they were made. Can you see any traces of fingerprints left on the surface? Can you see ridges left from wheel throwing on the inside of a bowl?